MrBeast's videos make the impossible look effortless, but behind the scenes, chaos often lurks. From broken sets to legal nightmares, million-dollar dreams can quickly spiral. Here's a look at the real challenges and costly fails that shaped his empire. 8. $1 million on lottery tickets, a built-in loss that paid off. Video: I spent $1 million on lottery tickets. On paper, there's no mystery here. The odds are the odds. Spend $1 million on scratch-offs, and you will almost certainly lose money. That was the point. MrBeast filled rooms with stacks of tickets, lined tables with friends and crew, and filmed a marathon of scratching that turned a financial inevitability into a visual spectacle. The editing rhythm carried the whole story. Anticipation, quick reveals, the occasional pop of a bigger win, and then the slow math adding up to a deficit. By the end, the total clawed back hovered around $700,000, leaving roughly a $300,000 hole. It's an expensive way to say the house wins, but it's also a lesson in how attention works. The loss becomes the narrative tension. Viewers stay to see whether the statistical anomaly arrives, and when it doesn't, the reality check is the payoff. Financially, the moment is a fail. Creatively, it's the content. The big takeaways were practical. Plan heavier crew rotations for mind-numbing tasks. Pre-stage data capture so totals are accurate without dragging, and accept that sometimes the negative ROI on screen is exactly what buys the cultural ROI off screen. 7. Would you quit school for $100,000? When the comment section is the cost. Video: would you quit school for $100,000? This concept was pure MrBeast. Compress a life-changing decision into a single high-stakes moment and film the reactions. Approaching students with a briefcase full of money delivered the emotional swings the channel is known for: shock, nervous laughter, resolve, temptation. But after the upload, another variable appeared: the audience's moral calculus. Some saw a playful thought experiment, others argued it trivialized education or glamorized impulsive choices. The friction wasn't a production failure, it was reputational drag. The hidden expense in a video like this isn't the cash in the briefcase, it's the cost of discourse. Team members field interviews, clarify context, and ensure the narrative stays anchored to choice, not pressure. The lesson wasn't don't make bold offers, it was to build in framing that reinforces agency and long-term support. The team has grown more deliberate about how these social decision videos are contextualized, and that extra layer of storytelling becomes another form of insurance. 6. Building Willy Wonka's chocolate factory when a set is delicious and difficult. Video: I built Willy Wonka's chocolate factory? Recreating a candy dreamscape is irresistible to watch and exhausting to build. The Feastables tie-in made it bigger: a chocolate river, edible decor, and theme rooms that had to be both whimsical and safe. The catch is that chocolate is temperamental. Under set lights, it softens. Anything edible needs strict handling, replacement cycles, and sanitation oversight. The same cute prop that delights in a wide shot crumbles when a contestant collides with it in a close-up. Costs here aren't just lumber and labor, they're resets. A river that loses its sheen under heat must be retempered. A candy arch scuffed during a challenge has to be rebuilt between takes without wrecking continuity. Food-safe crew need to shadow camera ops. And because the set doubles as a brand activation, consistency matters more than in a one-and-done stunt. The lesson the team carries forward is to over-engineer edible illusions, build hero elements for beauty shots and sturdier lookalikes that can take a beating during the game, and plan a strike team whose only job is to keep the food world picture perfect while the production world does its chaos. 5. Last to take handoff, Jet wins it. Ownership is the real boss fight. Video: last to take handoff, Jet wins it. A private jet is a thumbnail that writes itself. As a prize, it's a fantasy. As property, it's paperwork on afterburners. After the tense, sleep-depriving showdown ends and a winner celebrates, the real math starts. Jets come with hangar fees, maintenance schedules, inspections, insurance, crew, fuel, and taxes. Recurring costs that dwarf normal prizes. It's thrilling TV and a sober spreadsheet. When the winner realized keeping the jet would be a financial anchor, the production pivoted. The aircraft was sold and the winner received a large cash equivalent. That solution sounds simple, but it expands the back end. Sale contracts, title transfers, tax handling across jurisdictions, and a PR layer so the audience understands why the jet won on Monday is a wire transfer by Friday. The lesson is baked into later mega prizes. Show the dream, deliver the value, minimize the winner's future liability. Whenever possible, make the prize liquid or bundle it with ongoing cost coverage so the win remains a win. 4. 24 hours in a haunted asylum. The scare isn't the ghosts. Videos. 24 hours in a haunted prison and 24 hours in a haunted asylum. Abandoned institutions are cinematographer candy. Narrow beams of light, peeling paint, long vanishing points down dark corridors. They are also hostile environments. Years of water intrusion mean rot. Railings wobble, floorboards flex, and a gust through a broken window turns a harmless draft into falling debris. The camera tells a story about phantoms. The safety officer tells a story about load ratings. These shoots carry a different kind of expense. You don't just rent a location, you bring specialists who assess which areas can be used at all. Pathways get marked. Stunt medics are on site even when no stunts are planned because a simple walk and talk can turn into a trip and fall. Production days expand because the team moves slower than normal to protect ankles, heads, and lenses. The audience sees adrenaline and dares. The ledger shows caution and pauses. The lesson is to treat derelict spaces as active sets. Scout with structural eyes, design routes like a live event plan, and assume the most Instagrammable room is also the one that needs reinforcement before anyone steps into it. 3. Burying himself alive for 50 hours. Redundancy or bust? Video. I buried myself alive for 50 hours. This remains one of the channel's purest endurance gambits. A custom coffin is lowered into a grave. Cameras, lighting, and comms are wired in. A ventilation system maintains airflow, and clocks tick. The hard part isn't claustrophobia, it's failure modes. A clogged vent turns into an emergency. A battery chain that's perfectly adequate above ground becomes unacceptable underground. A 2-minute comms outage feels like an hour. What made the video work is what made it safe. Redundancy everywhere. Parallel power, multiple vent paths, burn down procedures rehearsed by a team who never leave the vicinity, and a plan to abort that can be triggered by the person in the box without debate. The cost of all that redundancy is invisible to the viewer and essential to the outcome. The lesson that radiates into later endurance pieces is simple and strict. If a single point of failure could become life-threatening, add layers until it can't. If those layers are expensive, pay anyway. The most costly fail is the one you can't fix. 2. The giant maze builds, when the set becomes the opponent. Various uploads featuring large-scale obstacle courses, labyrinths, and custom structures. The MrBeast look includes scale, a set so large the drone shot becomes a character. But scale has a physics bill. Materials flex as contestants push, jump, and collide with them. A wall that's rigid in a rehearsal with 3 crew members wobbles when 50 competitors bottleneck at the same doorway. Paint hides structural seams until humidity swells a joint and reveals a gap mid-take. Even the best planning meets entropy once real humans start doing real human things to a set. These are not headline-grabbing disasters. They are the death by 1,000 fixes that bloat budgets and chew time. A hedge maze loses sightlines and needs trimming between rounds. A tower platform fails a last-minute stress test and gets an extra brace before anyone climbs it. A prop rig that looked brilliant on paper resists the camera on set, so the art team refabricates while the AD shuffles the shooting order to keep the day alive. Each micro delay is measured in overtime, rentals, reshoots, and catering for a crew now home 4 hours later than planned. The lesson is to overbuild for the worst participant behavior, not the best, and to budget a set triage unit whose entire mandate is emergency fixes that keep momentum without sacrificing safety. 1. Giving away a private island, the prize that keeps billing. Video. I gave my 100 millionth subscriber an island. As a symbol, an island is hard to top. As a transfer, it's complicated. The giveaway celebrates a milestone. The back end lives in the world of title searches, environmental regulations, local taxes, and access logistics. The winner's dream property must be legally clean, insurable, and practically reachable. If there's a dock, who maintains it? If there's a structure, does it meet code? If there isn't, what rights exist to build one? None of those questions fit neatly into a thumbnail, and all of them exist whether a camera is rolling or not. The production solution is to to convert spectacle into solvency. Legal teams handle the conveyance. Additional cash support and fee coverage de-risk the win for the recipient, so a prize doesn't become a liability. The lesson is structural. Design headline prizes with a second chapter in mind. If the logistics are thorny, include a path to liquidity so the winner can choose the dream or the cash without friction or public confusion. And there you have it, the wild, expensive, and sometimes chaotic side of MrBeast's biggest challenges. If you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at what it really takes to pull off these record-breaking stunts, smash that like button, share this with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. Thank you for watching and see you next time.